I remember when I was dating, my dad would ask me, is it this or is it that? Does he have this or does he have that? Does he behave this way or that way? And I would say, I don't know. And he said, so what have you people been doing? Story, you say story. Once upon a time, you say time. That's how we used to do our story time back in the day. All right, you ready? Story. Once upon a time. Welcome to my channel once again. It's Laraddiji, always and forever. No wasting time today. Let's just jump in. My sexually transmitted miracle. I'm sure you're wondering what that is, but I want to give you a little bit of advice before I give all the juicy details. If you don't want to get pregnant there, this is for my married folks. Please, my fellow women, protect yourself. Because these men, most of them, I will tell you now, will not get a vasectomy for you. Look it up. Us women can have C-sections up and down our bellies, episiotomies up and down our hoo-has, even with multiple pregnancies, but they can't get a tiny snippy. If you're a guy watching this, please prove me wrong. Especially if you don't have any support from your family members because you're far away from home or for some other reasons, then you need to get some Rikers Island type of protection because you have to make sure no prisoner sperm escapes trying to be a hero. You need to get an intrauterine device or use plain old condoms. Arm up like Nexplanon commercial, not legging up, my dear. For my unmarried folks, ask lots of questions before you even get into a serious relationship with that partner. Know their answers to these questions before you go and put yourself into trouble. And please don't even get into this mess unless you just like starting drama, because that is what will happen when that $2 test shows a positive sign, and your drama now will turn into that movie, Mission Impossible. So there's the gist. This is the juice. So back in 2017, I kind of said I wouldn't have any more kids. Yes, I said it. Like a lot of people that have said it and it didn't happen that way. The average number of kids in my extended family and that of my husband's is 3 kids or less per family. Usually you see, 1 girl, 2 boys, or 1 boy, 2 girls. That was the average ratio. But apparently it was to be our blessing, let me not say burden, to break that 3 kids per family issue, because I can't call it a curse. Well, I'm so glad I didn't sign any deal, any legal papers stating I wouldn't come back to the hospital I had birthed my kids or to the clinics that I went for my pregnancy-related checkups, because, tell me, I would have lost so much money. When I was in labor with my 2nd pregnancy and 3rd child, I swore to the nurses I wouldn't come back, and they said I would. Even they knew, and I didn't. I had a C-section with the twins, my first. I thought life was good until I had to push the next baby out, VBAC, vaginal birth after C-section, with no drugs. Even though I went through the pain of getting the epidural line placed at 7 centimeters dilation, the medication was never even connected. I wanted to wring her neck when the nurse said, oh, the epidural wasn't even connected to run. Duh. I think it was sabotage and done on purpose. That's why I was in so much pain. I felt everything. But I still thank that because, I got to experience the almighty ring of fire. And I would do ring of fire over C-section any day. Mainly because of recovery time. So anyway, this is how it went down. My first pregnancy was with twins, like I said. And when I was in labor with them, up until I was 6 centimeters dilated, I couldn't take the pain anymore. So I opted out for an epidural when my husband slipped out of my labor room for some minutes. If he were to be in the room, he would have convinced me to take the pill, to take the pain like I know my mom would have said also, which was one of the main reasons I didn't tell her I was in labor or even at the hospital. She'd say, I pushed all 3 of my children, no drugs. So Lara, you need to push. Well, I wasn't going to have that. I needed someone that will tell me, get the drugs, even though, I know the risks. So back to the topic of today in relation to living in peace and in regards to my miracle. If you want peace in your relationship, and I mean long-term peace, please familiarize yourself with what I'm about to say for the next couple of minutes. There are many different types of contraception, especially nowadays. Condoms, IUDs, diaphragm. There are pills you can take. And lastly, breastfeeding being one of the lower ranking ones. And your girl had backup protection, but not the every prison type apparently. So please do your research and learn how to protect yourself. Back in the day, I wouldn't be talking about this because it's you and yucky. Not anymore. Your girl has grown. No more shy. Let's just help each other and avoid all the mess. And in the end, live a peaceful life with our men. I had used an intrauterine device before, which I loved, but I wanted to lose some of the weight I had gained as a result of, being on the product before I went back on it. But, I was dreaming, right? You got preschool twins in the house, starting pre-K, full-time night shift job, and a baby under one. Who was I kidding? I really was pushing it, right? I mean, I still could have done it. However, there was just too much going on. Well, that time of the month came once and disappeared again, and I'm like, uh-oh. I really didn't want to see my period anyway. Who does? But then I didn't want to be pregnant yet either. Mixed feelings. I was like, lady, what do you want? I asked myself. To cut it really short, 3 months go by, no bloody nature. So I pushed myself to get a $2 pregnancy test because I was like, I am not wasting my money for something that's going to pop out anyway in a couple of months. It's not like that $20 pregnancy test is going to sing for you, right? That would be a good idea though. That would be nice if they sang. I've wasted so much money before, checking if I was pregnant with 2 to 3, $22 to $25 ones. So this time around, your girl wised up. I'm not wasting money. Well, to my surprise, it was brightly positive. And no fainty lines, no guessing, boldly positive. And before that, I had this horrible taste in my mouth. And I still do sometimes, even all through the second, trimester. And this only happens when I'm pregnant. So I shouldn't have even wasted my $2. Ladies, ask them questions. On those dates you go, don't just eat and play your life away on empty promises and calories. All right? Nowadays, a marriage is a contract and a very struggling business. You don't want to be left high and dry when your partner can't keep their end of the commitment deal after a little amount of time. Ask what their thoughts are on sex before marriage. Ask what their thoughts are on having kids. Ask about using protection. Are they for it? Are they against it? Ask about STD history. Hello, nobody is safe anymore. And definitely ask what their thoughts are about you getting pregnant for them. Are they helpers or are they going to be deserters when, push comes to shove? Usually you know more about these guys from these conversations and their answers. These are not the only questions you should be asking, by the way. Girl, use your head, not your, oh, he's so cute little heart. And these guys need to wake up. All right? You don't want your girl getting pregnant and you don't get a bottle cover. Hello? You care about your future. A lot of people have made mistakes with their girlfriends way back when, that is wreaking havoc now in their present relationships. So you better think before you spill your drink carelessly. I hope you guys understand me, right? I remember when I was dating, my dad would ask me, is it this or is it that? Does he have this or does he have that? Does he behave this way or that way? And I would say, I don't know. And he said, so what have you people been doing? It was then I realized I wasn't asking the right questions or that I was too shy to ask. So ladies, please don't be shy with the potential life mate. Dig deep and get your answers. Know who you're dealing with, or at least who you'll be dealing with. How will you know if it's an angel or a devil in disguise if you don't ask the right questions? All right, you ladies watching this, would you ask your guys these questions? And if you did already, what were their answers? Let me know what's on your mind about this topic of today by placing your comments in the comment section. I'll be glad to share mine with you. Let us remember that at the end of the day, children are blessings from the Almighty God. Some people go through a lot to get pregnant, to get a partner. Some women go through a lot to get pregnant. And some women go through a lot to stay pregnant. Some go through a lot to, to give birth to the baby. And, even after the baby is born, some go through a lot, before baby can even come home. There will be times when you want your pregnancy to be over, and there will be times when you don't even want to be a mom anymore. But always remember that you're not alone. Don't be shy. Ask for help. So that's all for now, you guys. It's Laraddiji once again closing this video page. I'm a lover of peace, and I love talking about situations that we might find ourselves in that need peaceful answers. I'm sorry this kind of sounded like a long contraceptives commercial, but it isn't. I'm sure the guys who, watch my videos will love this. But anyway, let's stop giving ourselves high blood pressure for no reason. God willing, we are on this earth for an average of 75 to 80 years. Let's not waste any of that precious time on things that don't help us positively in some way. You have a decision to make about that baby that's about to come into your world. If not now, maybe later. The ball is in your court. Here you go. It's in your court. Thank you very much for staying with me. You can like this video by giving it a thumbs up so that I can make more freestyle videos. And also subscribe to get notified of newly posted videos. Why wait? It's free, oh, it's free. Just click the red button. Don't forget to love your neighbors as yourself. And at the end of the day, let us remember that for us to rest in peace, we all need to be living in peace. Soon I'll be having some giveaways when I have 25 subscribers. So every 50 subscribers, I'm going to give a gift to the 50th subscriber. But for now, we're waiting for the 25th subscriber. We have 22 so far. So you guys, subscribe, and you'll see me in my next one. You see me in my next one. See me in my next one. Stay blessed.